And welcome back. So in the previous video we learnt how to do a basic git merge, and in this video we are going to be looking at, or rather we are going to be creating some merge conflicts and taking a look at the different types of merge conflicts that can occur and how we can resolve them, because it can be quite a panicky situation when you run into merges, especially in Unity, considering there are so many different types of files and so many different types of formats of files that people might end up working on. For example, you might end up working on the same scene, or you might end up working on the same scripts, and it can be quite problematic when you merge them, especially knowing that the same files have been modified. So let us get started with creating our first merge conflict. Before we start, I want to show you on our master branch that we merged last time. If I go to the history, you can see all the commits that we had done in the my branch 2 branch here, and you will see all those commits here. So that is just something I quickly wanted to mention, which I did not mention in the last video. So you can see all the same commits, and all of them have been added to the master branch. Okay, so let's open up the project now. And I will also open up the project in the Explorer and open git bash. We are on the master branch right now. So keep in mind that we are going to make some changes now, and it is going to be on the master branch. Okay, so now the project has opened, and I'm going to start by editing test script 3. So I'm going to open up the script, and I'm going to add a couple of functions here. Function A. So this is a dummy function that has been added on the master branch. I'm going to close this, and I'm just going to commit and push this file. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to open git bash, and we will stage the file. We will commit with a message modified test script 3, and we will push. We will git push this to the master branch. So if I refresh, you will see modified test script 3 here. And now let's check out to another branch. Let us check out to my branch 2 that we had worked on last time. So I will do a git. Let's close the project, always remember. So I'm going to go to my branch 2. And once I'm on my branch 2, I'm going to open up the project again. And you can see that we are not on the master branch anymore. We are on my branch 2. And I'm going to open up the exact same script. So think of this as one developer modifying the same script and another developer modifying the same script on another branch. So now you can see it's empty here. Those changes are not here. So I'm just going to add another function here. So let's add a public void function B. This is another dummy function. So once again, I'm going to close this up. Check. Cut start from here. I'm going to close the project. We will go back to our project directory here, and we will now stage our changes on my branch 2. Let's also call this modified test script 3. And I'm going to push these changes. So as soon as I push these changes, if I go back to my branch 2 here, you will see another commit here which says modified test script 3, and both these scripts have modified the same script. Both these commits have modified the same script. So if I go here, if you click on the commit, by the way, you can see down here what files have been changed. So you can see that I've added function A here. And if I go back to my branch 2 and click on the modified test script 3 commit, you can see I've created a function B here. So now the same script has been modified on both the branches, and now we are going to attempt to merge my branch 2 back into master again. So let's do that now. I'm going to go back to the project folder here on the git bash, and remember the steps again for a merge. Always check out to the branch that you want to merge into. So we will git check out master. We are now on the master branch, and we will run the git merge from my branch 2. So the command for that once again is git merge no fast forward my branch 2. Now look what happens when I hit enter. You will see an error here, and it says conflict, merge conflict in assets / test script 3. And now it is going to stop the merge as it is, and now you can see here instead of master or my branch 2, it says master / merging. And what that means is it is in the merging mode, it is in the process of merging, but it has encountered a conflict, so it will not be proceeding with the merge till you fix this particular file. So how do we resolve this particular conflict? So there is a way to do it. The first thing that you can do is, let us open up test script 3 in this mode. So we will, in our file explorer, we will go to assets, and I'm going to open up test script 3. We will open this up on Visual Studio. And you can see now on the file that, especially on scripts, you will see this very nicely. And here you can see Git has added something for us, and these are called conflict markers. And the error here was that there was a conflict in test script 3, and as soon as there are some conflicts in the script, it is going to add these conflict markers on the file that has the conflict. And if it is a script, it is very easy to resolve. So it's very simple. So all you need to do is go inside the script and look for the head marker here, and anything that is under the head is whatever your changes were, and it is separated by this line of equal to symbols, and under that you have the changes that have been done on the other branch. So you can see here under head we have function A, which I added on master, which is my target branch right now, and under this equals to, you will see the function B that was added on the other branch, which is my branch 2. So now let's say we don't want function B, but I just want function A, or let's say I want function B and don't want function A in my script. So it's very simple. We will just start by removing everything which is inside the first section, which is under head and before the first equal to separator. I'm going to remove this, and then we will just remove the conflict markers, and we are going to save the script. As soon as we do that, you will see that the file is now clean, and I can go back to the Git terminal, and I can just run a git add dot. And what am I doing? I'm staging my changes right now, which I made on test script 3 in the merging mode. So if I do git add dot, you will see that if I run a git status, you will see that it says modified test script 3, and which means the conflict has been resolved. We have removed the conflict markers and we have kept what we want in this script. So now I can just do a normal commit as usual. So I can do a git commit -m, and the message is resolved merge conflict in test script 3. And as soon as I do that, we can push it by using the git push command. So this is a basic explanation of how merge conflicts work and what the Git system does when it encounters a conflict. So you saw that it has added some markers inside the file with the conflict. It adds both the changes and it shows you who made these changes and who made these changes, so you can decide what you need and what you do not need. The previous example of creating a conflict, you saw that it was a very simple conflict. So we just added a couple of lines here and a couple of lines there, and we manually resolved the conflict by opening the Git file. But now let's say there are a few more conflicts. So let us open up test script 3 again and introduce a more complex set of conflicts. So I'm going to add some lines here. So line 1, line 2, and then I'm going to add a few more lines here, line 3, line 4, and maybe I'm also going to add another function. So I'm going to add a function here. And I'm going to save the file and open up git bash. And you can see we are on master. I'm going to stage the file. And we will push this. So as soon as we push this, here you should see on the master branch, you should see modified test script 3 again. Now we will just go and check out my branch 2. And let's open up the project. And in my test script 3, I'm also going to add the exact same function here. So I'm going to say public void function C. I'm going to add a few more lines here. And we will do the same thing. We are just going to save and let's close the project. Okay, and then we will push this. And now going back to my branch 2 on the Git, you will see that we have our latest commit. And you can also check the changes on both the files. So if I go to the master branch and click on my latest commit, you will see there are 12 additions, and you can see the lines that I've added here. And I can go to my branch 2 and we can see the changes that I've added here as well. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to attempt to do the merge, but we will resolve the merge in a slightly different way. Instead of opening up the file and looking for the conflict markers, we will use a more practical tool to resolve this conflict. So let's now check out the master branch, and we will run the git merge command. And as expected, we have the conflict in test script 3. Now keep in mind that if we open up test script 3, you will again find the conflict markers, and you can resolve it that way, but that is generally not how it is done. And that was mainly to show you what Git does when it encounters a conflict. But we will go for a more practical solution now, which is using an online diff tool. So you can just search for a diff checker, and there are tons of these diff checkers that you can find online. So I'm going to just select the first one, and here you will see two different fields where you can add your two scripts. So now what we can do is we can go back to our remote repository, and we can select the master branch, and in the find file section we will search for the problematic script, which is test script 3. Let's select that script, and we will copy the contents of the whole script. So I'm going to click on this to copy the file contents, and I'm going to just add it here in the first section. And we will do the same thing on my branch 2. We will select my branch 2 and copy the test script 3 version that is on my branch 2. So let's copy both of them, and we will paste them here. And now you can see that we have the version that is on the master branch, and we have the version that is on the my branch 2 branch. And I can click on find difference, and as soon as I do that, you will see visually represented here what has been changed in these two scripts. And this gives you a very, very nice representation of what has been changed. So you can see, if we go line by line, you can see that these are present here, but these are not present here. And you can see line 3 and line 4. And you can see function C that has been created in both the scripts, but line 1 and line 2 has been added here, but it's not been added here. And what we can do is we can click on each one of these changes, and we can merge it either this way or that way. So let's merge them this way now. So I can go to each difference that I see here. I can click on this difference, and I can say I want line 1 and line 2 to be in my original script. So I can just do merge, and you will see that the changes have now come to this side. Let's do the same thing here. Line 5 and line 6 have now come here. And we can also send it the other way. So if I don't want the line 3 and line 4 here, and I want the changes that was made here, I can just send it to the other side. And we can use any one of these versions as we wish. So in this case, we have been actively trying to modify the one on the left side. So we can just copy the contents of this, and we can finally replace the text in our test script 3 in our project folder with the fixed file. And as soon as we do that, we can follow through with the the normal process of staging, committing, and pushing it to the master repository. So keep in mind that diff tools like this are very invaluable when it comes to um, resolving conflicts in scripts. So keep that in mind, and all you need to do is just get the versions of developer A and developer B and put them inside a diff tool to see what the differences are, and you can mutually decide what changes are needed between each one, or you could decide to use just one of the scripts if the other one is not needed. So you can either use developer A's script or you can use developer B script and just replace the conflict file with that, the contents with that, and just push it as usual, and your conflict is resolved.